Charli XCX's Brat is everywhere, and the production is amazing. Regardless of what genre you make, there are so many things you can learn from it. In this video, we're going to look at the secrets behind the beats on the project. When I was doing research for this video, I saw AG Cook, one of Charli's main producers, saying that he uses Serum and that he doesn't use many presets.
I don't use presets that much.
He's making sounds from scratch, which is one of the reasons why the project has such a unique sound. Now, a lot of the sounds on the project are harsh and detuned. The contrast between this and the very pretty progressions is a big key to making this type of sound. I started with a basic synth sound like this. Then I added a filter and attached an LFO to it. It's slowly rising over 8 bars to create a build-up for our drop. I also attached the same LFO to some white noise. Next, I used this clip for inspiration.
You can see here the LFO is mapped to the reverb.
Yeah, a lot of the tracks have that as a bit of a signature that I've grown.
He attached an LFO to the verb size, but I took it one step further by attaching it to the dry wet as well, having it really peak at the end. And finally, I turned up the unison, giving us 8 voices, and I created a short LFO envelope, attaching it to the detune knob, fine pitch, coarse pitch, and EQ resonance. The first 3 all add to the detuning of the sound, which as AG says is very important. And the last one creates a sort of perk loop by boosting certain frequencies at quarter note intervals. This is combined with 2 extra top line melodies, giving us this intro section. Whilst there is a learning curve, this just shows you the power of sound design. Next, we need the main section of the beat. Before anything, I automated the BPM to make it faster and more of a club tempo. This switch also introduces a pitch shifting effect to the delay. Charli said that the album is heavily inspired by the 2000s UK rave scene. A good example is a song like Club Classics. The drums are pretty simple with a 4 on the floor pattern and some clap rolls to keep it interesting. However, for the melody, I want to take inspiration from the biggest song on the project.
360, when you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror, you're just looking at me.
I paired a synth bass with a pluck to create this. Then they added some more high-end elements to create some harmony. And finally, on Club Classics, they took Charli's vocals and chopped them up to make them like a percussive element. I did the same, recording and chopping my voice. I also took one of AG's sound design tricks where he creates his own kick. To do this, simply find a sine in Serum, make a short LFO like this, and attach it to the coarse pitch. This will give you a kick-like sound with that electronic blip to it. In that beat, we looked at the more aggressive tracks on Brat. For our second beat, I wanted to make something softer and more melodic, like So I.
Always on my mind, every day, every night.
The first thing you notice is these soft chords played with a vintage synth sound. I grabbed this preset from my upcoming Analog Lab bank and put this down. Next, I want to take inspiration from this song.
It's so confusing sometimes to be a girl.
The washed out bell in the background adds that glitzy texture. I found this preset and filtered it using Lossy to give it that Y2K type sound. After that, I took an interesting technique that's used in a lot of the songs. AG uses noise to add grit and an industrial texture to these beats. In Serum, load up a noise and simply attach an LFO to the level knob. Make a unique pattern on that LFO, add some reverb and phasing, and you should get this. I then layered that with a 1-note string drone like you can hear on Talk Talk.
I've been looking at you.
It adds a nice amount of high end. For the drums on this one, I took inspiration from I Think About It All the Time.
I think about it all the time, that I might run out of time.
They're almost polar opposite to a lot of the other tracks, using short, snappy, and light drum sounds. I started with this kick and snare combo. However, AG is always finding new ways to add texture to his beats. The hi-hat on this one has a certain groove, and here's how you can recreate it. First, find a short, clicky hi-hat, then add a two-step pattern, copy a layer on top, and shift random notes back. Finally, automate the attack on the hat to create a truly unique texture. Finally, for this section, add a synth bass. While So I starts off soft and gentle, it transforms into something much more harsh as the song progresses. To replicate this, I changed the bass to something harder, laid in a more harsh synth sound playing the chords, added a textured bell, and automated the filter to slowly go away. And finally, I switched the drums for the final drop. I also changed the rhythm of the chords, something similar to Rewind.